Right now, it's right around 0 degrees. Yesterday, it was a balmy 15 below zero. So it feels like a heat wave today. But these side-by-sides with cabs kind of make you soft. I'm not the man I used to be. It's pretty nice when it gets cold out using this machine. But we're up on Lake of the Woods here. We're just heading out. We're staying at the Ship's Wheels Resort, which I kind of like this place. It's kind of low-key, mom and pop operation, small, quiet, and kind of come up here and fly under the radar. But they've got sleeper houses and they've got day houses, they've got cabins, you know, basically everything you need. But we're just gonna go out and kind of run and gun, and we're gonna be up here for a handful of days, but just got kind of a crew of guys that I've known for a long time. It's kind of a place where you come up with your buddies here and you can fish your heart out. That's what I love about Lake of the Woods. We're just getting set up here. First spot in the morning. So there's a couple different options on Lake of the Woods. When it comes to walleyes, you can fish a lot of the shoreline structure. Then there's some, some deeper offshore contours where these fish are roaming over a soft bottom. But there's also a lot of random reefs out here where you've got rock or hard bottom. And a lot of times, you're fishing in proximity to the reef, just off of the edge of the rock. But what's cool about Lake of the Woods is, you can truly catch walleyes all day long. This water's got enough stain where there's a lot of things that happen all throughout the day.
Oh, Lake of the Woods, this is where I started guiding when I was 17 years old, so it's just a special place. It's just a huge body of water, and it's really cool because you got islands and bays and miles of shoreline, and then out here on the main lake you just have a huge basin, that has the Rainy River. It's just a walleye factory, and I was lucky enough for years to be a guide up in the northwest angle, and I've spent my fair share of time out here on the main basin. It's just a awesome body of water, a lot of fun, a lot of fish.
There we go. Yeah, maybe. Just gonna bring them on up here. Our plan is to eat a few fish, so thought is that we'd thank you.
Yep, there we go.
There we go. Oh, that's a nice sauger there. I'll tell you what, in my opinion, this is like one of the best eating fish that swims. Nice sauger like that. That's really nice. People come up here for the fishing, and I think the appeal for Lake of the Woods for so many ice anglers is, yeah, you can have tough days out here. You can have tough days anywhere, but, usually you're going to catch fish, and that's why we fish. We want to see red lines on the Vexlar. And, some of the good days, we're catching 50 to 75 fish, per house, or, it's just, you're going through bait. You're catching a lot of fish. And obviously you've got the opportunities where you can catch big fish. If you had to catch a 30-inch walleye in Minnesota, I don't know if you could beat Lake of the Woods or the Rainy River system, And not only do you have the potential to catch big fish, but you're going to catch a lot of fish. You look at the number of sauger, the number of eater fish, and, there's a protective slot, or, basically that 19.5 to 28-inch fish, is protected, but you catch plenty of fish to eat that are, say, 15 to 18 inches. You catch some sauger, which are great eating, and then you've got the chance of catching bigger fish. Lake of the Woods just checks all the boxes if you love to ice fish, and if you love to ice fish for walleyes. Oh, here we go. That fish ate it with an attitude. Yeah, grab that transducer there. There we go. Thank you. Come on up here. Should be able to see it here pretty soon.
There you go. Nice fish.
Yeah. That is just a great eater. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You got that growling pose. That's why we're here. We're gonna eat some fish, and we're gonna stay in the cabin for a couple of nights. We're gonna go out in the fish house for a couple of nights, but just crazy numbers of fish you'd want to eat. You never know when you're gonna get a trophy fish. That's always a possibility up here, but pop that out of there. Yeah. That's why we come here.
Oh, here comes one. That feels a little better. Let's get this out of the way here. Cool. There's a nice Lake of the Woods walleye. There's a lot of fish down there, and that's what we come here for. So yeah, we got the nice sleeper shack not too far from us, and we got the portables, and we're just out, you know, chasing around fish. And we actually found that we came up a little shallower here, and we kind of got out of those saugers. So now we're pretty much just catching walleyes. So that's kind of a cool thing we figured out. I mean, it's fun catching the saugers, but the walleyes are a little nicer size, and when they come through, they bite pretty good.
You know, the amount of fish that are in some of these locations, it's really what makes Lake of the Woods incredible. You know, you've got walleyes, you've got sauger, you'll see tullabies, you know, there's pike out here, people even catch sturgeon out here, but just a massive biomass of fish. And you know, when you're fishing in these fish houses like this, a lot of times it's kind of a classic 1-2 punch. You can use 2 lines, and so, you know, if you're in a sleeper house or in a day house, or if you're just running gun with portables, you know, it behooves you to use that second rod. And so a lot of times what we're doing is we're jigging spoons, you know, especially over this deeper water where we're fishing from, say, 20 out to 30 feet of water. You know, just a compact spoon that just falls straight up and down. This water has a lot of stain, and so these smaller rattle and PT spoons, something with a rattle in it's really popular on Lake of the Woods. Gold is a good color on Lake of the Woods. There's other colors that work, but if you were to talk to a lot of people, gold is a favorite. I think just because of the stained water. And so a lot of times we're just jigging compact spoons that just fall straight up and down, that just make some noise. The other thing is, don't be afraid to pound these spoons on the bottom, whether you're over the rock or whether you're over the mud. These fish are often relating to the bottom, and they're attracted to that noise. So the small rattle spoons like this rattle and PT, these catch a lot of fish on Lake of the Woods. So now here's what's crazy. It's talk about the 1-2 punch. A lot of times this noise and commotion might pull fish in, but you'd be kidding yourself if you didn't acknowledge just how many walleyes a plain hook and a split shot catches on Lake of the Woods, whether it's on a rattle reel, whether it's on a dead stick. And so a lot of times we're just using a plain hook and a live shiner and a split shot, you know, anchored 6 inches to 2 feet off the bottom, and that also catches a lot of fish. And you'll see that ebb and flow. The jigging might catch a big percentage of the fish during the prime time windows, and then it gets kind of slow, and then all of a sudden the dead stick fires off. And so it's interesting to see how these fish will go back and forth as far as what they prefer, but definitely give them that 1-2 punch. Jigging spoon, and then the dead stick.
That looks like a nicer mark. It's coming pretty fast. Here we go. Yeah, we got it. Cool. I love it when they shoot up off the bottom like that and just hit your jig, you know, especially a nicer mark. Oh yeah. This feels like a nicer one. I like this spot too. We're on some walleyes here. Oh yeah. Nice. Cool. That's a nice one. That's a perfect one for a little fish fry tonight, huh? That doesn't get any better. About a nice 18-inch walleye. Just using a little emerald shiner head and switching back and forth between a few different jigs, but it's hard to beat just a spoon with a emerald shiner head on it.
So we're poking around. I mean, kind of taking turns when going back to the fish house, doing a little exploring. Yeah, it's a horse apiece. I mean, sometimes last few days we get a little impatient, think, oh, they're biting better somewhere else, and you can go drill around and catch a few fish. And the people that just sat in the fish house in the permanent sleeper house, they caught just as many fish as anybody. So it's kind of a deal where it's like a lot of people are catching fish all over, and really a numbers deal. I mean, you catch a lot of fish and then you're kind of get those big fish mixed in that kind of make your day. But you can have, I think the limit's 6 fish, so 4 of them can be walleyes out of a Sauger walleye limit. It's just a deal where you can just come up here and catch a lot of fish and, you know, bring some fish home, eat some fish. You always got the chance of catching a big fish. There we go. Come on up here. Just lots of, this is a Sauger here. So if you've never fished up here, just the black spots on the dorsal fin, and you don't get the white on the tail. That's how you tell the difference between a Sauger and a walleye, or the easy way. But we're just all bouncing around here, but there's just a lot of fish in this lake. I mean, I don't want to exaggerate or embellish, but I think you could drill a hole just about anywhere if you sit there for the day. You're going to at least mark something. It might not always be the biggest fish, but you're going to see fish. And so this is just a great place. If you don't have a lot of confidence ice fishing, if you don't have a lot of confidence fishing for walleyes through the ice, I don't know if there's too many things that you could do that would beat this up here. All right. And in my opinion, I think the Sauger are probably the, I mean, I think they're better eating than a walleye. I mean, they're as good as it gets. You know, you look at these fish houses up here in this whole industry. I mean, these are the unsung heroes when you look at the ice fishing industry, in the sense that it's a lot of work. I mean, these people are up early in the morning, they're plowing trails, they're hauling people out. You know, you've got the logistics, you've got meal planning, moving fish houses, you know, just constant maintenance. You know, everything breaks when it's this cold. And so, you know, these people work really hard, and all that hard work and all that effort just makes it easier, where you can just come up here without a lot of equipment. You can come up here without a lot of experience and just hop in one of these fish houses and catch fish, you know. So this region, this area, you look at Lake of the Woods, I mean, it just serves such an important role for the entire industry. You know, last handful of years especially, there's a lot of new people getting into ice fishing, which is great. We love to see people fishing and love what ice fishing does for people. I just feel it's the most therapeutic, beneficial thing that you can do in the wintertime. And if you don't have a lot of confidence, or you maybe haven't had a lot of success, haven't caught a lot of fish, and if walleyes in particular are a fish that puzzle you, just come up here and do it. I mean, you're going to catch your walleye. You're going to learn a lot coming up here, because you know what? It's all about repetition, in the sense that the more fish that swim underneath you, the more chance you have to try to catch them. If you're not seeing fish, it's going to be really hard to learn how to catch them. Up here, you're going to get chances, okay? And so, in my opinion, you come to a place like this, and whether it's just reading your Vexler, reading electronics, learning how to jig, all those basic things, your learning curve's going to skyrocket up here, because you're just going to see so many fish in most cases.
There we go. Boy, they're biting, man. There's these windows out here, and you just got to be ready. When they come through, they come through. Oh yeah, that's a nicer one. It's a nice fish. That'd be perfect for a fish fry, but I've already got my 4, so it's your lucky day, dude.
So, we went out and just did some exploring in the sense that, I don't know, I mean, it's just, I guess it's in our nature, fish here, fish over there, wonder what's over there, and that's one of the fun things about this, and you can use your fish house as a base camp. You can rent a house and fish there. You can, do a little exploring, fish deeper, fish shallower. As a rule of thumb, we definitely saw kind of a peak window where I would say mid-morning and then late afternoon are when the best bite windows seem to be, especially for the bigger fish. And it seems like you're going to catch small fish mixed in with big fish a lot on Lake of the Woods. And so if you're catching, say, 15-inch walleyes, 10-inch sauger, catch a 16-inch walleye, but you're hoping to catch bigger fish, don't necessarily get frustrated or leave that too soon. I think that's a mistake that I've made is just letting the day unfold. If you're running traffic, if you have got a good flow of fish swimming underneath you pretty consistently, just start catching those red lines, and some of them are going to be nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of resorts here, and they offer, great packages. So you just have to literally, get in your vehicle, get up here. I mean, you really don't even need warm gear. You get a lift out to the shack. They give you your bait. It's just so easy and fun, and you don't have to worry too much about bringing a bunch of gear if you don't want to. But that's also a cool thing. You can bring your gear and you can explore a bit during the day, so it just offers a big variety of different amenities that all these resorts offer. So there's just a lot of fish and a lot of cool options when you come to Lake of the Woods.
And the other nice thing on Lake of the Woods, there's always access. There's plowed roads. You can come, and Twin Island Sleepers, they provide the sleeping houses, rental houses, and access onto the lake. And it's a small fee, or if you're staying with them, it's access is free. And any part of the lake on Lake of the Woods, there's plowed accesses so you can get around, and you don't need track machines. They'll provide anything that you need to get out for a good day of fishing.
I think it's worth pointing out too, you come on a deal like this, and you don't come up here by yourself. Bring your buddies, bring your family, bring people from work, whatever, but you come up here with a group, and so when you rent out some of these cabins, and do a little cooking, and you put 3 or 4 people in a fish house, it's really economical. This is the first time I've ever gone out on Lake of the Woods and done the sleeper house. And I think for me, the cool thing about it is, you wake up in the morning and you're right there, you're ready to fish. But it's just something about being out on that ice, you hear the ice moaning and cracking through the night as it's forming ice, and you're with your buddies. You can do a lot of cooking, which is a big thing for us. We cook meals out there, and just kind of our hub, our base camp, where, some of the people are maybe just so they want to relax and read a book and wait for a rattle reel, they can sit and relax. People are a little bit more ambitious. You can go run and gun and look for stuff, but it really was a cool experience. I'd recommend it for anybody. If you've never done it and you love to ice fish and you love to walleye fish, it's definitely something to try.
We're out here in this monster fish house, and it's awesome. We get to cook right here, having a good time, telling stories, and we just had a great day on the lake. So, highly recommend Ship's Wheel Resort on Lake of the Woods.
Well, we've been fishing all day and we got the band back together. This is cool, because we're going to sleep out here, do some cooking. It's so cold out, so just nice to have this central base camp. And, there's fish getting caught here in the fish house too. But, yeah, you can sleep, you can cook, you can eat, and private access coming out here in some pretty good areas on the lake here. So pretty cool. I think this is something, if you've never done it, it's definitely something to do or put on your bucket list. Come out in a sleeper house, bring your buddies, just spend 3 or 4 days out here. It's a pretty good time.